It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
It's 12:05 p.m. We're broadcasting live from our studios in downtown Nashville. Carmichael is, I think, listening to a joint event between former Governor Bill Haslam and former Governor Phil Bredesen. They want us to all get along. Oh, that's not going to work. We win, they lose. That's where we are, folks, today, and we got to win. All right, I want to talk. Crum will be with us in the 1 o'clock hour, I believe. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about what appears to be the complete collapse of the, quote, hush money trial, the kangaroo court trial going on in New York City. I'm going to begin here with this clip. We've got a couple clips yesterday of Andrew Giuliani outside the courtroom yesterday describing what happened. So here we go. I think clip 3, right? Clip 3.
Now, why do you say that? This jury looks like it's never Trump to the nth degree. Maybe one, maybe two people. Why are they not loving this? I mean, they support Michael. They're the type of people that go to Michael Cohen's site. They're the type of people that support the sponsors of Michael Cohen. Why would you say it ended any sympathy?
Well, that's what I worry. If they are actually, that Manhattan jury pool where we're seeing 86% voted for Joe Biden in 2020, I think that number's gone down significantly, and 79% voted for Alvin Bragg, then you wonder if some sympathy has built up there, Steve. And again, I got to say, this jury has done a very, very good job of keeping their poker face on. It's tough to really tell where they are. I'm hopeful there are just a couple unbiased members on there. If they are, then I think they can't look past just the fact that the prosecution was never able to prove the case. And remember, it's still the prosecution can still call witnesses at this point, but they're still relying on Michael Cohen's word on all of this. There's been no documentation that the prosecution has presented that does not rely on Michael Cohen's word.
Yeah, and there's no evidence. There's just Michael Cohen's word. We have a little bit. We have another clip coming up here from Andrew Giuliani yesterday afternoon, kind of with the synopsis of what's going on. Here we go.
They finished the cross of Michael Cohen today. In your mind, have they been able to ascertain or put in front of the jury exactly what the crime is that they're trying to get Michael Cohen's testimony to kind of basically bury Trump?
Not clearly, Steve. They're trying to concoct this falsified bank records, talking about how it was involved in election interference with 2016, and that's why Cohen did it. There was even a suggestion that Cohen continued it because he was trying to interfere in the 2020 election, in 2017, and early 2018. Cohen certainly, you could tell, was coached to answer the questions with regards to what the motive was from the prosecution by saying that he wanted to make sure that this stuff did not get out before the 2016 election, even saying that he would not have paid this had it been after Election Day of 2016 right there. Whether or not the jury bought it or not, I don't know if they did. I certainly didn't buy it. I think most people with an unbiased mind would not buy it. And again, you have to reiterate, anytime that you talk about this, that Michael Cohen is a perjurer of a United States Congress. He's a convicted felon and somebody that almost every witness that has been called to the stand has said they've caught him in numerous lies.
Yeah, caught him in numerous lies. And, of course, the other element of that, and I think they actually got it wrong. I think the cross will continue on Thursday, end up sometime midday Thursday. And then the prosecutors will have an opportunity to redirect, in other words, rehabilitate Michael Cohen. But it's going to be difficult. One of his former attorneys, Robert Costello, who is a former federal prosecutor, testified this morning before a House committee, and it's the subcommittee, the Select Committee, Subcommittee on Weaponization of Government. I think it's of the Judiciary Committee. And his testimony this morning was absolutely devastating. I heard a little bit of it as we are coming in here, broadcast on Stephen K. Bannon's War Room. But the story from John Solomon kind of wraps it up here. Michael Cohen's ex-lawyer to nuke Cohen's tail before Congress, habitual liar, totally unreliable. And he did, actually, this morning. Here's the story by John. While Michael Cohen, the disbarred lawyer and convicted perjurer, stars as the prosecution's chief witness at Donald Trump's Manhattan trial, House Republicans are offering a powerful counter story this morning, unflattering testimony backed by contemporaneous memos from Cohen's ex-lawyer portraying the former Trump fixer as a, quote, habitual liar and totally unreliable witness, end quote. In testimony delivered to the House Subcommittee on the Weaponization of Government this morning, prominent New York defense attorney Robert Costello will tell lawmakers that Cohen told his lawyers back in 2018 that he had concocted on his own the hush money scheme that Trump is charged with and had no incriminating evidence against the former president. And by the way, I listened to that. I listened to Costello's testimony before the committee as I was coming in this morning. And he was very clear. He said, look, Michael, as your attorney, I'm going to tell you, if you, Cohen was looking for a way out because he'd been involved in all sorts of criminal activity that ended up in his conviction and served time in prison and his disbarment. Cohen said, okay, Mr. Costello, how do I get out of this? To which Costello said, if you have any incriminating evidence against Donald Trump and it's truthful evidence, you can bring it to the prosecutors and that would be your ticket out. To which Cohen said, I have no such evidence. And then he asked him again, do you have that evidence? I do not have such. 5 times, not 3 times, 5 times, Costello asked Cohen in 2018, do you have any evidence that Donald Trump was engaged in illegal activities? Cohen said no. Now remember, the alleged hush money payoff happened in October of 2016, and the payments, the 34 payments for legal fees to Michael Cohen took place in 2017. And so this conversation that Costello reiterated this morning happened a year after that. Let me finish this story. Costello, once the deputy chief of the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office, prestigious criminal division, alleged in his prepared testimony obtained by Just News that Cohen repeatedly insisted that Trump had done nothing wrong when he was debriefed in 2018, while federal prosecutors were investigating whether Trump violated any election laws in 2016. Ultimately, federal prosecutors chose not to bring charges. Costello said Cohen, at that time, was suicidal and had been assured he could have gotten a deal from federal prosecutors if he delivered provable dirt on the former president. So this is interesting. And here's exact language. Cohen kept on saying, guys, I want you to remember, I will do whatever the blank I have to do. I will never spend 1 day in jail. Well, he did. He spent 3 years in jail, some period of time. I even said to Cohen at one point, Michael, now is the time to tell the truth and cooperate if you want your legal problems to disappear. And Cohen told him, quote, I swear to God, Bob, I don't have anything on Donald Trump. He said that in 2018. But even more troubling is the following. Basically, after he knew what Cohen had been saying, he went to the district attorney's office and said, look, he told me multiple times in 2018 he had nothing on Donald Trump. And what happened on that is he told that to 8 assistant district attorneys before the trial. And apparently they chose, he was scheduled to report to the grand jury and testify before the grand jury as to what he knew after he talked and told the assistant district attorneys, the exculpatory evidence he was going to present about Donald Trump, they canceled his appearance before the grand jury. This is a violation of Donald Trump's constitutional rights. You got to give exculpatory evidence. It's got to be released, and they didn't do it. This thing is backfiring. Well, when we get back, this is a Michael Patrick Leahy Show.
John Fredericks here for Freedom Alliance. Veterans are still struggling with the wounds of war. They came home with injuries that changed them forever. The flag-burning troublemakers in our streets remind me how fortunate we are to have patriots who served and fought, sacrificed, and never complained. We need to support them through organizations like the Freedom Alliance. It's Military Appreciation Month and time to support those who serve. Freedom Alliance is caring for combat veterans and military families. Combat veterans fought in the worst, most dangerous places on earth. Freedom Alliance takes them to nature's most relaxing locations so they can heal. Freedom Alliance gives injured troops mortgage-free homes, new cars, and all-terrain wheelchairs. For wounded vets, there's nothing like the stability of your own home, the reinsurance of a reliable vehicle, or the independence of a wheelchair that navigates snow, ice, beach, pasture, or most any terrain. Let's fight for those who fought for us. Go to freedomalliance.org/Godzilla and make a monthly gift that will improve the life of a military hero. That's freedomalliance.org/Godzilla. Make a contribution today.
If you're like me, most moms find it difficult to prioritize self-care. Hi, it's Colleen, Program Director at the John Fredericks Media Network. With the demands of programming 13 radio stations, it's easy to forget about the things I should do for myself daily. And that's why I started with our company's Women's Challenge with Native Path Collagen Peptides. It's affordable and convenient care in just one scoop a day. There are so many incredible health benefits like bone and joint support, metabolism booster, and hair, skin, and nail improvement. I like to take a moment each day to prioritize myself and indulge in the health-boosting benefits of Native Path Collagen Peptides. I love mixing it up with all the different smoothie recipes, too. Learn more about Native Path Collagen Peptides and read 7 important reasons why you should be taking collagen peptides at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Prioritize your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today and get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
Target.com. Target.com is an online e-commerce tire retailer. We are here to serve the American public with the best possible customer service, the best pricing, and we make it extremely easy. We have many name brands and a lot of low-cost tires. The price is right, and it's easy. You go online to Target.com, Tireget.com, Target.com. You go there, you put your zip code in, all the inventory displays right in front of you. You can call in for help if you want to. We'll help you get the tire that you need. But we will take the tires you buy and at no extra charge deliver them to the dealer right by your house where they will be installed at the market price. It's easy. The best price, the best service. Great people to deal with. Thank you for going to Target.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. It is 12:19 p.m., broadcasting live from our studios in downtown Nashville. Just a reminder, if you want to reach out to us, you can do it on social media. Go to X, formerly Twitter. Michael P. Leahy, that's me. I read all the tweets that I receive from everybody. Also, you can reach me on Getter, Michael P. Leahy, and True Social, although we don't have quite the number of followers on Getter and True Social, and I really haven't totally figured out how to use them in a real way, right? But, yeah, we will be. Also, go to YouTube right now. You can type in the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. You can see yours truly live and in person on YouTube, the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. We do We do the show live streaming there. We'll be shortly adding Rumble, live streaming on Rumble and probably Getter as well. And then we'll do something on X. That's all in the next couple weeks or so before we do that. And, of course, our flagship news site, the Tennessee Star, on the web at TennesseeStar.com. All of the stories that we talk about, you can read there, and all of our reporters that you hear on this program are featured there. Of course, one of our themes here is we are the only voice of factual news from a conservative worldview in the entire state of Tennessee. And we constantly compare and contrast how we report on the news with the way the synoptic, globalist, left-wing propagandists that are part of the local television networks, television stations report on the news. And as an example of this, we're going to play this audio for you from News Channel 5, which is owned by one of these very, very big conglomerates, Scripps, based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. All of these companies have like 100 television stations, and they all say the same thing. They're all cheerleaders for left-wing politics. And I'm going to play this audio for you from News Channel 5. You're just not going to believe it, how they frame this. The Mayor Freddie O'Connell's State of Metro delivered yesterday. Here's that clip.
Whether you drove, walk, rode, or rolled here, welcome to the fairgrounds.
From city officials to community members, it was a packed house for Mayor Freddie O'Connell's first State of Metro address. For 18-year-old Trent Benj, he was excited to hear the mayor's transit plans.
I'm a big transit nerd myself, and so I've loved seeing like the WeGo bus backdrop.
Over the last 7 months, the Mayor O'Connell administration heard from tens of thousands of people about the need to enhance the city's transit system, taking their suggestions and coming up with the Choose How You Move plan.
The 4 pillars of it, it's sidewalks, signal, service, and safety. It will be built into WeGo's upgraded operating model.
It's something Trent fully supports.
To those folks, I often say that, hey, we're not getting only buses and sidewalks out of this. We're getting massive improvements to our signalization system and other parts.
Metro Council still must approve the plan.
And I feel very good about the progress we've made and the road ahead.
Trent says his biggest concern right now in the city is affordability.
I think we're going to have to be making a lot of changes in the city to our zoning code and other aspects to allow more affordable housing to be built.
Mayor O'Connell says he is trying to help. His team already struck up a deal to have at least 45% of the homes in the first phase of the development of the East Bank be affordable housing.
There are a lot of things we just also need to elevate that are already in play, and so I want people to know that there are resources available in a variety of ways if you are experiencing that kind of financial stress.
Trent is optimistic about transit in Music City and remains hopeful the costs will come down.
We have a massive missing middle housing that we need to address. And I think that's going to be a big focus for our council over this coming term because, like I said, we're terrible when it comes to affordable housing, and we got to be doing more to address it.
Thanks, Nashville.
In Nashville, Aaron Cantrell, News Channel 5.
Don't they have an editor over there who's an adult? News Channel 5. So, talk about a fawning report, and half of it is this dopey 18-year-old who knows nothing about the world. Half of that report was his analysis of the mayor's plans. Really? An 18-year-old who knows nothing? That's going to be your featured? That's your lead story at News Channel 5? Oh, yes, 18-year-olds think all this is great. They've never paid taxes. They've never had a job. But you over at News Channel 5, you think that's important? Oh, my goodness. You can't get over this stuff. Okay, now let's talk about this fawning cheerleading for Freddie O'Connell. Oh, by the way, did I mention? I think I've mentioned this once or twice before. Freddie, when we had a radio show at the other station here in town, the morning show, in the 6 weeks before the August 1st election, remember Freddie was trying to get into the runoff election. He was on our show 4 times in 6 weeks. Haven't heard from him since. You wonder why. Well, I'll tell you why. He can't take the heat of real questions. He's got to go in front of the cheerleading, synoptic, left-wing, globalist, corporate-owned television stations who don't really, and let's be honest, I've said this before, the news people there, they're just dumb as rocks. Rory Johnson, the lead cheerleader on News Channel 5, dumb as rocks. Now, Phil Williams isn't dumb, but he is dishonest and manipulative, as we showed many times. But that's sort of a little bit of an aside. But I want to get back to this. We've talked with Ben Cunningham about this. The emperor has no clothes. What do I mean by that? Okay, so Freddie O'Connell wants to raise taxes in Nashville, and the way he wants to do it is using the authority of a transit referendum, which he calls a transportation referendum, a transit referendum that is authorized by the 2017 Improve Act, but only for the purpose of shared passenger transportation services, right? Did you hear any mention of mass transit when he talked about his We Move plan? You did not. You heard sidewalks. Sidewalks, Mayor O'Connell, and News Channel 5 and all the other, fawning left-wing television stations here in town. Sidewalks are not mass transit. Signals, Mayor O'Connell, are not mass transit. Service, not mass transit. Safety, your big idea is to have buses? Buses are unsafe. Nobody wants to ride buses. What a huge waste of time and money it is. Look, although it is legal under the Improve Act for Mayor O'Connell to have this plan, this transportation improvement plan, which has to be approved by Metro Council, by the way. It is legal to raise taxes for the purpose of buses, according to the Improve Act. But it's stupid. Freddie, it's stupid. Nobody wants to ride a bus. Buses are dangerous. And you spend all this money on bus lanes and buses, nobody's going to ride it. This is obvious to anybody with an ounce of common sense. Nobody's asked him any tough questions. In his plan, he highlighted this. This is from the cheerleaders at WSMV, which is owned by, I think, Gray Media. They own 80 stations around the country. O'Connell highlighted 4 projects that he's taken on in the last 8 months. A transportation improvement plan, creating more affordable housing, and the improvement of a master development agreement along the East Bank. That's only 3. Okay. They need an editor at WSMV as well. Oh, my goodness. And they had 3 people writing the story. You'd think somebody would have caught that. Here's what Freddie said, quote, "We have a great opportunity to restore your faith in local government as a resource, a partner, a listener, and a responder. We have a great opportunity to reach for the future instead of only lamenting the past. We have a great opportunity to preserve so much of what we love about Nashville and make it better." Look, Freddie is very smooth and very slick, and he knows how to use the words, but the words that he didn't say there, we're going to raise your taxes with this illegal transportation referendum, but also in 2025, we're going to raise your property taxes. Didn't say that, but that is what he's going to do. Hey, we'll have more when we get back. We're going to talk about John Eastman and election integrity. Got a great clip to play for John Eastman, our good friend. Back after this. This is the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. I want to tell you about an event. It's the Glock Store's 4th annual open house, June 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, the Glock Store is where I bought my Glock and where Crom and I train. They have great raffle bags. Last year, they gave away over $9,000 worth of top-shelf gear like Vortex scopes and Holosun Red Dot optics. Most bags are worth a few $100s, some a lot more. Hey, and there's shooting competitions with really nice prizes. Last year, the winner on the Fast and Accurate stage won a free Glock. And speaking of a free Glock, they also give one away that day to some lucky attendee. You don't have to be present to win. Just show up to enter. There'll be factory reps there demoing all the latest gear from all the top brands. It's a really great event, and it's never too early to save the date. That's the Glock Store's 4th annual open house, June 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. McGill's world-famous Glock Store, minutes from the airport and worth the drive from anywhere. This is Michael Patrick Leahy. Join me every weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on 760 a.m. WENO in Nashville. You know, we are the only America First talk radio station in Nashville, and we have a terrific lineup. From 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., you can listen to The John Frederick Show. From 9 a.m. until 11 a.m., it's Stephen K. Bannon's War Room. And what do we talk about? Well, we talk about the things that Stephen K. Bannon talks about and more. Are you worried about the fact that the United States debt is increasing $1 trillion every 100 days? Yes, it's $34 trillion and growing. Are you worried about the border invasion? Listen to us every weekday morning from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 760 a.m. WENO in Nashville. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy.
This is Michael Patrick Leahy. I want to say a few words about our friends at DT McCall's. This is the place to go if you want appliances, furniture, lawn equipment, or gun safes. They have 5 locations in Middle Tennessee, Franklin, Carthage, Lebanon, Cookeville, and Lafayette, and have been a family-owned business for more than 100 years. We bought our refrigerator and dishwasher from DT McCall's, and these appliances have been great. And the delivery and installation service was just fantastic. By the way, free delivery and haul away of your old appliance or furniture within 125 miles of Carthage. And DT McCall's is one of the top 10 dealers of Cub Cadet lawnmowers in the country. And don't forget, you can get your Liberty gun safes there. That's DT McCall's on the web at dtmccalls.com.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. It is 12:33 p.m., broadcasting live from our studios in downtown Nashville. Well, you know, we're good friends with John Eastman. And, John, we've reported on the ridiculous kangaroo court trial, which he has been subjected to, that led to his disbarment in California. He gave a speech last night in Michigan. I'd like to play that one for you right now. Here we go.
I start with this story when I get a call from the White House switchboard. I thought they were joking. I thought it was an old buddy of mine saying the president's on the line. Can you take a call? I said, Steve, what are you doing? Get off the phone. And the president said, I'd like you to represent me. We're trying to get an action before the Supreme Court of the United States. That normally is something that would be considered the capstone of one's career. My daughter thought so. She took the brief we filed in the Supreme Court, my motion to intervene on behalf of the president in the Texas versus Pennsylvania case. She had it framed and gave it to me for Christmas that year. It still adorns my shelf at home. But a funny thing happened on the way to the forum, as the old line says, because apparently in 21st century America, you're not supposed to challenge the status quo. You're not supposed to challenge what government tells you, no matter how blatantly false it manifestly is. When they said, masks should be worn or masks shouldn't be worn, we're supposed to act like they didn't change their mind and that it was equally the same. When they tell you it's okay to have 50-year-old men showing up naked in your daughter's showers, we're supposed to just say, well, this is the government said this is okay. Or competing against your daughters in the swim meet, What's she going to do when she grows up and wants to get a scholarship swimming or running track and she's competing against a man? It's not fair, it's not American, and we need to stand up against it. And the same thing's true with elections. Bill Barr said that there was no evidence of fraud. He'd looked, except when we filed Public Records Act requests asking what he looked at, getting access to the investigatory materials that he based that statement on. Now, investigative materials are exempt from FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, and what you get back normally, it says, yes, we have such materials, but it's exempt under whatever subsection of the statute it's exempt under. That was not the message that came back. There was a fellow that filed FOIA requests in every swing state U.S. Attorney's Office and in Main Justice in Washington asking for all the investigative materials that supported Bill Barr's statement. And the answer didn't come back. We have these materials and they're exempt. The letter came back and it said, there are no such materials. In other words, what Bill Barr said was a lie. And publicly he's saying we're investigating election illegality. Privately, as we know from the U.S. Attorney in Pennsylvania, Bill McSwain, he was separately calling him, saying, stand down. Hand the materials over to the Attorney General of Pennsylvania. Think about that. The Democrats in Philadelphia are stealing an election. You're going to hand it over to the Democrat Attorney General to conduct the investigation. In other words, the investigation has occurred. The head of CISA said it was the most secure election in history. I mean, you can't even say that with a straight face. I tried to sell that storyline to Hollywood. They turned it down as too implausible. No, I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, that's our good friend, John Eastman. And look, he's been disbarred in California, and he can't practice law now because of that. The way the bar works is, you know, you go to a left-wing state. I don't know why. He lived in California because he was I guess he ran for attorney general back then, 2010 or so. But he also was the dean of Chapman School of Law in Orange County. So he lives in California. Obviously, California is a left-wing state. The bar is a joke there. It's filled with left-wing operators. And but that's where he lives. So he's stuck now. He cannot practice law. And we went through, our great reporter, Rachel Alexander, did about 35 stories about this kangaroo court disbarment case that began in June of last year and continued and just, all for till August or so. And the decision was made to disbar him by this judge in California back in December. And now the guy can't make a living in his preferred profession. By the way, he's a graduate, summa cum laude graduate of the University of Chicago Law School. He clerked for Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. He is one of the leading constitutional legal scholars in the country. And, a political hack in a political disbarment trial disbarred him. And then, in John Eastman's case, he's a defendant in this ridiculous RICO case that Fannie Willis has brought in Fulton County, Georgia. And so he's, the amount of money this guy's got to spend to defend himself is in the millions of dollars because our justice system has been weaponized. Now, I want to kind of go a little bit. I'm going to give Crom a hard time when he comes in because he's right now. He's right now listening to I get an event, I think, hosted by to promote the podcast of former Governor Bill Haslam, a Republican, and former Governor Phil Bredesen, a Democrat. And it's basically, can't we all get along? And this is a theme that a lot of weak people have been advancing. Folks, we're not in the land of can't we all get along? It doesn't work like that today because the communist left, the neo-Marxist left that controls most of the mainstream media and controls the Democratic Party does not believe in the marketplace of ideas. No, they believe in censorship. They believe in shutting down the opposition. We're in a land where it's very clear This is binary. You either win, our constitutional republic either survives or it dies. You win or you lose. And there really is no opportunity for free and fair discussions with the other side because they don't brook it. Now, having said that, I'm going to give Governor Bill Leahy a hard time right now. Governor Bill Leahy, I'm sure he's listening. Although by the way, just so you know, Governor Leahy, I think, fits in the category of nice guy with really no courage. That's the way he fits in my view, in most instances. Why? Because he doesn't stand up to the left. And he'll talk to all of these local television stations in town that hate his guts. He'll talk to the Tennessean, which hates his guts. We've been operating here, the Tennessee Star, since February 2017. He was elected in 2018, inaugurated in 2019. Never done an interview with us direct. We had him answered one question for us once when he did a joint press conference with Senator Bill Hagerty. And our reporter asked him a question then. Did he answer it then? But his press team doesn't respond to us. Governor Leahy, hey, we should be advancing the same causes here, right? Don't go to the people that hate your guts. Go to the people with whom you have some shared values. Okay, so why do I bring Governor Leahy up? So this is crazy. He has hosted an event with the Governor Spencer Cox, who is a Republican, in Utah. They call it the Disagree Better event. You're kidding me, right? No, that's how they think. That's why our side is getting rolled, because our side thinks it's about disagreeing better. No, it's not about disagreeing better. It's about beating the other team so they don't cheat. Here's the story from yesterday from the National Governors Association. National Governors Association Chair Utah Governor Spencer Cox and Tennessee Governor Bill Leahy collaborated for the latest in a series of events in support of Governor Cox's NGA Chair's initiative, Disagree Better. I can't stop laughing. Launched in July of 2023, Disagree Better is a year-long initiative to help Americans bridge the partisan divide. How's that going? What have we seen in that year? Ridiculous kangaroo court prosecution and election interference by Democrats in charge of President Trump. So it's not going so well, Utah Governor Cox. But here's what he said, quote, I started Disagree Better because I'm deeply concerned at the division and hatred consuming the country. We'll never make progress on important issues when each side thinks the other is the enemy. Politicians need to do better, but there is a role for everyone. There are practical steps like service we can all take to heal the divide. Give me a break. I hope this campaign inspires more Americans to discover, wait for it, the transformative power of volunteer service in their communities. Well, volunteer service is fine, but that's not going to stop the neo-Marxist communists from trying to destroy our constitutional republic. Hello? All right, so we got this. Here's from Governor Bill Leahy. Quote, we can disagree and stand firm for our beliefs and principles, but we should never forget the dignity of the other human being. I'm proud to join governors across the nation in demonstrating that civility is not a weakness. It's the Tennessee way and the American way. This is why the neo-Marxists are making progress, because we have weak leaders. Here's more from the National Governors Association press release. Centered on the theme of building dialogue skills and fostering positive contact, the Nashville event featured panel discussions with bipartisan experts and keynote addresses from Moral Courage College founder and CEO Irshad Manji, and Citizen University co-founder and CEO Eric Liu. Okay, come on. Moral Courage College, Citizen University co-founder. Money, folks, is involved in this. I can promise you that. They went on to say, speakers and attendees also work together on a service project in coordination with Comfort Cases, an organization that assembles and distributes care packages for children entering the foster care system. Disagree Better aims to change the political behavior of both voters and elected officials, showing that the right kind of conflict often leads to better policy. Oh, this is such drivel. Look, we got to stop the cheating. Why did we get this disastrous Joe Biden in as the legal but not legitimate president of the United States? They cheated. That is the answer. And we got to stop the cheating. We'll have more when we get back. This is the Michael Patrick Leahy Show.
Do you suffer from declining bone and joint health? Hi, it's Tina with the John Fredericks Media Network. And when I heard about our company's Women's Challenge, I jumped on the opportunity to test this amazing supplement that's already restoring my bone density, soothing my joint pain, and helping me regain lost mobility. I've experienced so many benefits in such a short time with Native Path Collagen Peptides because they support my bones and joints, boost my metabolism, and unleash the most radiant skin and hair since my 20s. In just 2 weeks, my knee stiffness is gone, and I'm already hitting the gym more aggressively. And I get so many compliments on my glowy skin and shiny hair. Native Path Collagen Peptides are so easy to take. They're tasteless, odorless, and mix great with my morning coffee. Read thousands of 5-star reviews at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Level up your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today. And get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cells Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
This is Crom Carmichael, CEO of Soul Tea. Our cardiovascular system is just amazing. Our bodies have over 100,000 miles of veins and arteries. Our heart pumps 2,500 gallons of blood through our bodies every day. Our heart beats 100,000 times every day. Taking care of our heart and cardiovascular system is key to having a healthy life well into our 80s. If you have a weak heart, you're tired, you're weak. Life is not fun. I'm 75 years old and take 0 prescription drugs. I've been taking Soul Tea's active ingredient for over 20 years. I hope you will start taking care of yourself today by going to GodzillaHeart.com and start taking Soul Tea today. Use the code Godzilla at checkout to get our best offer, which is 50% off your first shipment and 3 bottles for the price of 2 thereafter. Please start taking care of yourself today.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. It is 12:50 p.m. We are broadcasting live from our studios in downtown Nashville. And we can be heard also. We can be heard also in Memphis. So here in Nashville, we're heard on 760 AM WENO. In Memphis, we're heard on KQPN, 730 AM. And, of course, read all of our stories at the Tennessee Star, TennesseeStar.com. Okay, would you like a little humorous video here? We make fun of New York City Mayor Eric Adams, right? Former police officer, but not the brightest bulb, right? And what's interesting about this guy is that, I think Crom has the very, very best description of the guy. He looks good in a suit. I was going to hold off on this clip till Crom got in so we could both have a chuckle at what Eric Adams had to say, but it's just too good, and I had to share it with you right now. Here's Eric Adams talking about all the illegal aliens that they're inviting into New York City.
Let me just take your imagination for a moment. If we had a migrant and asylum seeker plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard. That just doesn't make sense. But if we had a plan that say you have a shortage of food service workers and those who fit the criteria, we're going to expedite you. If you have the experience that you are a nurse, which you have a nursing shortage, and we would expedite you. And that's the same with lifeguards. So we have all these eligible people waiting to work with the skills we need to fill the jobs, but we're unable to allow them to work because bureaucracy is in the way. That just does not make sense.
Okay, I've used this phrase to describe some television broadcasters, but that guy is as dumb as a pile of rocks. I mean, unbelievable. Sovereignty of the United States, that doesn't matter to the guy, right? Oh, yeah, we're just going to use all these illegal aliens to come in here because they're better swimmers. They're excellent. And I went back and I listened to it. Did he really say that? Did he really say that? Was he just making a hypothetical? And you listen to it closely. No. Illegal aliens are excellent swimmers. Really? I didn't. Have they done tests to see? Is he talking about swimming across the Rio Grande? You must be, right? I don't know. Are we going to? That is so stupid. But I guess, an elected Democrat official is a stupid neo-Marxist, and he sure is one. Put that in the context of this report that just was published yesterday by the Center for Immigration Studies. Todd Bensman is with them. But this is by Andrew Arthur. You got to listen to this. Biden's curiously timed effort to bar asylum to terrorist and criminal migrants. Could recent incursions by aliens at U.S. military bases be playing a role? Yes, it could be. They could be. The Biden administration published a proposed rule yesterday so this would be Monday, that would allow asylum officers to consider criminal and national security bars to asylum during credible fear interviews of illegal migrants. That's curious, given that the administration previously reversed a Trump-era rule that would have done the same thing. It's also curiously timed, given that it was issued just over a week after a little reported incident. I didn't see about this. Did you know about this? In which a, quote, Jordanian foreign national who recently crossed the southern border into the U.S. and an individual, quote, on the U.S. terrorist watch list tried to sneak into Marine Corps Base Quantico in the dead of night. Had you heard about that? No, you didn't. But did it happen? Yes. Under Section 235B1 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, illegal aliens, encountered by the Border Patrol at the border or ports without documents to enter the U.S. or with fraudulent entry documents, including illegal migrants, are subjected to expedited removal. That process allows the Department of Homeland Security to remove such aliens without placing them into removal proceedings and obtaining a removal order from an immigration judge. There is, however, an exception to expedited removal for aliens who request asylum or claim a fear of harm if returned home. Those illegal aliens must be interviewed by asylum officers from a portion of Homeland Security to assess whether their claim of fear is credible. Credible fear is a screening standard used to determine whether the alien may be eligible for asylum. This is all a bunch of rules and regulation to allow all sorts of illegal aliens to come into the United States. If an alien receives a positive credible fear determination, the alien is generally placed into removal proceedings before a judge to apply for asylum. If instead the alien receives a negative credible fear determination, the alien can seek credible fear review. See how hard this is? And look, Alejandro Mayorkas, who was impeached by the House by one vote on the second try, and then that impeachment was entirely ignored by the U.S. Senate. And that guy is a master of understanding how to manipulate the rules to bring more illegal aliens in. And that's why the guy should have been convicted. Hey, when we come back, we'll have more. I think Crom Carmichael may be joining us back after this. The Chief Team reminds listeners here that more and more veterans will be returning home over the next few years, and many are local. These heroes have elite military training and valuable professional skills, but they also need jobs too. That's why the Chief Team is encouraging all local businesses. Let's make it the year we hire smart and hire veterans. That's from the Chief Team, where they say service isn't just a courtesy, it's a commitment. For more information, call 931-444-3572. That's 931-444-3572 for the Chief Team in Clarksville.
This is Michael Patrick Leahy. If you want a really great haircut, I recommend Refined Men's Salon of Cool Springs. My friend Julie White owns Refined Men's Salon of Cool Springs, and she's cut my hair for years. Julie, what's the secret to a great haircut?
Having the passion to form it into the head shape of your client, and so they can have a nice, easy style every morning.
Well, an easy style. I like that, Julie. And so if people want to go and find out where Refined Men's Salon of Cool Springs is, just do a Google search of Refined Men's Salon of Cool Springs, and you can book an appointment with Julie online right now. Where are you located, Julie?
330 Mayfield Drive, Suite A5, Unit 106.
In Franklin, Tennessee, you can call 615-219-0188 to book an appointment. That's 615-219-0188.
The Black preaching tradition is deeply connected to gospel music.
PBS presents a new series hosted by Henry Louis Gates Jr., Gospel.
Our singers preach and our preachers sing.
Gospel is a prayer. It is our heart's cry to God in lyrics and song.
You feel it deep down in your soul.
Gospel. Streaming now on the PBS app.